Yeah. Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to Neuro D. Dyslexia Talk with Claude. We have Claude from USA. Yay! How are you, Claude?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's been a beautiful day here in San Francisco, California, USA. So I feel good. I appreciate you, and it's always good to see you. So thank you.
All right. Hold on, let me turn off this voice. Okay. Wait. Say hello to you, sir. Nice to meet you. Welcome, Saya. You guys, please like and share this video as many as you can so people are more aware about dyslexia. Okay. But don't worry, Claude, the rule is simple. You just be your own, no masking. Okay, have fun. All right. At the same time, I'm going to translate whatever you say. Okay, so people here in Malaysia can understand your message you were given. Okay. Okay, my English is not perfect, but I tried.
No, you do great. We've talked before, so you know we are all good.
Yeah, okay, as long as it's understandable. Okay. All right, don't worry. I told Claude to use a very simple English and vocabulary for you guys to understand. All right, but it's okay. I'm going to translate. Two. Okay. Shall we start first, Claude?
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
it.
All right. How did you find out that you're dyslexic? How does it feel when you have dyslexia? Bagaimana anda tahu bahawa anda dyslexia dan apakah perasaan Claude apabila Claude dapat tahu yang Claude dyslexia?
Yeah, and we talked about this, just you and I, but I'm 50 years old now, so I lived about over 40 years having no idea that I had dyslexia. And anybody that has dyslexia knows that you have a hard time with different things when you're growing up. And some people were tested very early, then they knew, they're like, okay, I got dyslexia. Yes, it's still hard, but they're like, okay, this is something that I have, and I got to deal with it. Whereas other people, which there are a lot of people all over the world that have dyslexia that don't even know they have it. And so I lived many, many years figuring out how to cope, but even trying to cope, I just thought I was dumb. I thought I was stupid because there were so many things that were really hard for me to do. So, the way that I found out about having dyslexia was a total accident. I was listening to audiobook, and the author was talking about dyslexia. I'm like, I know what it is, but he keeps saying it like it's very, very important. And so I started Googling more about dyslexia. And the more I read, the more I started to identify with a lot of the presentations, a lot of the traits that people with dyslexia have. And I love to read. I read very slow. I don't always understand everything, but I still have a lot of the dyslexia traits. There, I just did not know. So that's, I found out probably about three and a half years ago.
Okay. I translate for you.
Yeah.
Claude selama 40 tahun dia hidup tanpa tahu yang dia ada dyslexia, dan dia dia ada ups and down. Dia macam tak faham kenapa dia slow, kenapa dia bodoh. So dia tak tahu apa yang terjadi kat dia. So dia dengar audiobook and dia dia dapat tahu pasal dyslexia. So dia dengar lah kat situ. So dia dapat tahu yang dia ada dyslexia 3 tahun yang lepas. So right now dia macam dia accept diri dia as dyslexia tu. So bukan perjalanan yang perjalanan yang mudah untuk dia. Umur 40 tahun baru dapat tahu yang dia dyslexia tu kan. So dia rasa macam dia bodoh dia, tapi sebenarnya dia ada dyslexia. Dia suka membaca, dyslexia suka membaca, tapi it's quite slow untuk kami membaca dan mengambil masa lama untuk memahami konteks tu. Okay, Claude,
Yeah.
that the viewers ask, what is the symptom that you make that you realize that you have dyslexia? Apa symptom yang Claude dapat tahu yang Claude ni ada dyslexia?
Yeah. So you asked, what symptoms do I have that showed me that I had dyslexia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, my biggest symptoms were always processing, right? Processing information, whether it would be somebody's giving me directions or something that has a lot of sequences, which are a lot of steps to remember. School and studying was always very, very hard, and it just took me a long time to understand certain concepts. Difficult concepts, and of course, anything having to do with math, like dyscalculia was another one of my problems. And then, of course, last but not least, working memory. Those are some of my biggest, like my 2 or my 3 biggest symptoms of dyslexia. So, processing, working memory, and comprehension, understanding.
Okay, it's a pretty basic lah for a lot of dyslexia, which is bahasa, bina ayat dan memori. Sebab kami tak kuat pada ni, tapi kami boleh atasi semua masalah yang kita hadapi. Itu yang Claude dapat rasa macam, sebab tu saya dyslexia. Dia kata simptom-simptom ni. Alright. Nak bagi tahu, sometimes kita orang punya proses tu bukan sehari 2 hari, tapi it can take a years to understand the contents. That's this. Itu like dyslexia. Alright, next question is.
All right.
Most people find dyslexia and other neurodivergent as bad news. There's some can accept that they are dyslexic. How do you manage to accept yourself and move forward? Kebanyakan orang menganggap dyslexia dan neurodivergent lain sebagai berita buruk. Ada yang tidak dapat menerima bahawa mereka dyslexia. Bagaimana Claude berjaya menerima diri sendiri dan maju ke hadapan?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. And it's like I said a few minutes ago, I didn't know about my dyslexia till about 3.5 years ago. So, when I was growing up and when I was in school and getting out of school and in my 20s, in my 30s, 20 to 30 years old, I was still, lacking confidence because I always thought that I was stupid. And it took somebody to show me, to give me an opportunity to do something, that I thought was very hard, but this person gave me an opportunity to work with them, and that opportunity helped me see that I could do difficult things. That opportunity showed me that I was not stupid, and that's when I started to really believe in myself. Now like everybody else, I still have bad days, but that moment when somebody said, "Hey, you can do this," that let me elevate my confidence, my self-esteem, and my belief in myself.
But you're already 50. People like, I'm already 50. I'm late and I don't think so I can overcome this. How are you going to respond to these people?
Well, you know, late is a concept, right? There are people who don't find their why or their reason or their passion, in their 50s or in their 60s. Um, there's no reason to stop growing, to stop exploring. And a lot of times, the older you get, the more reflective you become. You start to think more about the big picture, right? Because you start to realize that you've been living longer than you might be alive. So, everything becomes a little bit more important. So it's never too late, and you're never too late. There's always an opportunity to become a little bit better every day.
Okay, that's a really great message. Okay, dia Claude ni pada 3 tahun yang lepas, dia baru dapat tahu yang dia dyslexia. Okay, dia ingat dia bodoh semua tu kan. So bila dia dapat tahu dyslexia, dia rasa macam okay, dia terima diri dia sendiri dan ada orang tolong dia tentang dyslexia ni. So dia tahu cara-cara untuk atasi sebab setiap dyslexia ada cara-cara untuk atasinya. So usually terapi tak akan tolong kat situ lah. So because of the motivation, dia dapat atasi kehidupannya dan dia dapat terima diri dia seadanya. Dan walaupun umur dia 50 tahun, dia rasa benda tu konsep saja. Okay, benda tu konsep saja dan dia rasa macam there's no reason lah to give up. Even though walaupun umur 50, so keep going. Ilmu tak pernah habis. So walaupun dah dapat tahu umur 50, dapat tahu yang you dyslexia tu, teruskan dan atasi dia. It's never too late. Belum terlambat lagi. Okay, macam mana kita nak bagi tahu dekat doktor tentang dyslexia? You can go to my pin TikTok and from there you can you dapat tahulah macam mana nak dapatkan diagnosis tu. Alright? Okay. Claude.
Yeah.
What is your job position? Does your workplace accept you as dyslexia and what did they offer you to help? Apa pekerjaan dan jawatan Claude? Adakah tempat kerja Claude menerima Claude sebagai dyslexia dan apa yang mereka tawarkan untuk bantu Claude?
Yeah, so excuse me, I'm self-employed, but I'm self-employed with 4 other people. So 5 people, we all run the same business, and we've been doing that for 6 years, and it's legal services. So legal, attorneys, the courts. And I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer, but all my clients are I work with lawyers in big global corporations. So big companies that do a lot of money, a lot of revenue. And my job is intensive. There's a lot of information, and it's legal, it's finance, it's a little bit of IT, procurement, and because I've been doing the job for so long, I'm okay. It took me a very long time to grasp it, to figure it out, and it's working fine. I didn't tell my partners, my business partners, I had dyslexia because when I started, I didn't know. So there was never a reason to be like, oh, by the way, I have dyslexia. I need accommodations, or I need this, that, or that. I didn't have to do that. And some of them don't even know right now, because I've been doing the work for so long that I don't, need accommodations. And, I'm okay just the way it is.
Yeah, because you work so long and your partner clearly are already comfortable with your working style. Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I,
And
I
I'm not ashamed of it, but I'm like, hey, I'm dyslexic. Everybody, it's just like, well, there's no need for it. I understand many people have to say that because a lot of people have to have accommodations, and that's okay. I'm just not one of them.
all right. Let me translate.
Yeah.
I find it difficult to translate your working style. All right, I try.
Yeah, I know. It's a hard job. Yeah. To translate. Just
Yeah,
say legal services.
I don't know even
So legal is legal is like a
legal. I
handcuffs,
understand legal.
yeah,
I
yeah,
So, but
yeah.
you're working because you are not lawyer. You are not what you say? You are not lawyer. You are not but I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
translate.
not a lawyer. I'm a director, a vice president, so
I see.
yeah.
Okay. Pekerjaan dia tu macam uh, um, I think macam ni lah. I think you guys lagi lebih tahu lah macam mana nak translate. Please translate on my YouTube channel. Okay. Kerja dia memang banyak. So mostly I can tell that dia punya kerja ni mesti banyak membaca, banyak paperwork and sebab all around the world kan. So it's not easy job. Mesti banyak paperwork. Which is kebanyakan dyslexia tak suka membaca. But Claude dapat atasi itulah. Dan bila dia bekerja, dia dah kerja lama sangat. So dia time tu dia tak tahu dyslexia. So kawan dia pun tak tahu dia ada dyslexia kan. Sampai sekarang dia tak bagi tahu kawan-kawan dia yang dia dyslexia. Sebabnya sebab dia dah boleh adapt, dia dah boleh atasi, dia dah selesa dengan kerja dia. So kawan-kawan dia pun dah tahu kerja dia macam mana. So no problem. But kalau saya nak faham macam maybe yang muda yang macam severe dyslexia or comorbid dyslexia macam perlukan pertolongan dan it's okay, boleh minta dia tolong. There's no shame about it, okay? But saya nak bagi tahu Malaysia belum lagi selamat. Make sure your boss tahu yang apa itu dyslexia. Okay, because in Malaysia we have this problem that most our bosses in the company still cannot accept dyslexia. All right, some think that dyslexia should not handle a big position like yours. Okay,
Yeah.
so I just told to Malaysia right now, it's not safe. It's either you masking it or because sometimes it's really hard. It happened to me when I tell my boss that I'm dyslexic. I got termination for
Oh,
this.
wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because,
Oh, man. Yeah.
not all, but now, especially younger generation, they already realize dyslexia, ADHD, autism, capable of, and they don't see that they don't see that we're like how to say the older generation see us. Okay, basically what I can see here that some of the companies do take advantage and they also don't want us to handle a higher position. So
Yeah.
imagine if I was in your company, I won't get the vice president or president title. I will be in the bottom, even though I worked for 20 years, just because I told them that I'm dyslexic.
Yeah. 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 And that's that. And I think, from what you've told me in the past, Malaysia is definitely further back with, understanding dyslexia, believing that dyslexia is real, and then accepting it, right? Malaysia is further than the US or even the UK. So I understand that, but I know that even here in the US, I've heard of people, losing their jobs because they told, their bosses that they had dyslexia. So I think it happens here, but it maybe not as much as Malaysia. And you have to be very careful before you say that you have dyslexia, because that you're going to be judged on that from the moment you say that moving forward, even if you've done a good job. And people do that even if they don't mean to, they still do that. So you have to be very strategic, and you have to do your research before you say that. Because you want to make sure that somebody else has had that same problem or has brought up that same issue in the past. You want to know if somebody else had dyslexia before you and they said something, what happened? Were they supported, or were they ousted? Like, were they fired? So you have to do your research so that you can figure out if it's a good thing or a bad thing to say that you have dyslexia at your job.
Yes, because for me, I find it very privileged here if the bosses accepted dyslexia or other neurodivergent, and also give opportunity uh, to give a higher position. Alright, apa yang aku cuba sampaikan macam saya sebelum ni telah awareness that make sure it's safe. Kena pastikan dia betul-betul selamat untuk bagi tahu bos yang you dyslexia, sebab saya sendiri pun kena terminate. So Malaysia belum selamat lagi, alright, Malaysia belum selamat lagi. So tapi younger generation Z ni dah aware, dah faham tentang ADHD, dyslexia, autism, dan banyak lagi, dan they don't saya percaya anak muda sekarang ni diorang percaya dan yang dyslexia neurodivergent ni semuanya boleh buat kerja dan boleh pegang jawatan, sebab yang penting is the result, bukan proses tu tau. Memang kita mengambil masa yang lama, tapi yang penting result tu itu yang Claude cuba sampaikan lah. Alright, next question.
Yes.
I think this is going to be your last question.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm picking up. I'm ready. Let's go.
How do you cope with your work despite having dyslexia? Bagaimana Claude menghadapi kerja walaupun Claude ada dyslexia?
Yeah, I've been doing it all my whole life, right? The hardest part of having dyslexia sometimes is when you start a new job, right? Because when you start a new job, it's just like, oh my God, there's so much information, there's so many steps. It's overwhelming, right? It's a big deal. But after a few weeks, a few months, a few years, you start to figure out, okay, this is my system. It might be slow, but it's my system, and it works. So over the years, I figured out my systems. Number one is I print everything. Everything is, everything is on paper, right? Because I can't learn from the computer. So I have to print everything out. And then, these are my best friends. Highlighter, I have to highlight everything, so that I could start to remember it. That's number one, because that's remembering and studying, and then being able to talk about what I read. So that's always going to be my number one thing. And then just take my time, work slowly. If I don't understand something, take a step back, come back to it later. And now that I work self-employed, it's easier. But I used to be, an employee for other people, and it was very hard.
Of course, and especially when you don't know that you are dyslexic at the time, so I can feel your pain.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought I was just like, what's wrong with me?
Okay, there's a question from the viewers. Adakah masalah komunikasi? Contoh cakap sesuatu perkara yang simple tapi sukar nak komunikasi. Yeah. Okay. What she asking is, as a dyslexic, is it that one of the problem that you deal is communication? From simple conversation, it can be quite difficult for us dyslexic. For me, I find it's quite difficult for me to communicate, especially making friends, social cue. Pretty much, we're kind of like similar with autism. Okay, we have a problem with communication. So how do you adapt with it?
I find that sometimes how you feel about yourself will help you communicate better. And you don't have to feel perfect about yourself, say that, hey, I'm the most amazing person in the world, but you have to have a level of self that helps you when you meet new people. Because when you meet somebody for the first time, this is it, right? It's you and me, and you have to have a level of belief to know that the person that you're meeting will respect you, give you the time of day, and accept you long enough to start a conversation. Because if I come into to Amani's world and like, hey, you're like, what? And you don't have to be like this all the time, but you have to start out chest back. You gotta come in like you mean it. And once you establish yourself, then they get to know you. They understand that you're not perfect, but you've shown them you're a good side of yourself, and you've come in strong. And communication starts from there, right? Because to communicate, you've got to be able to say things and do them like you mean them. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that it's hard, and you have to work on yourself so that you could communicate better with other people.
True. True. Okay. Translate time.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to keep it short.
It's okay. It's okay. I think that I think some of viewers might help on YouTube to translate a little bit. I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay. Alright, pasal kerja, okay, macam mana dia atasi bila dia bekerja. Mostly satu, dia sudah bekerja lama. So, pada awal-awalnya, okay, dia struggle, time tu dia tak tahu yang dia dyslexia. So, bayangkanlah dia punya kesakitan. Pada masa tu, I can boleh lah dapat faham lah apa yang dia atasi tu, stress dia tu. Okay. Okay, first, dia print semua dokumen yang dia time dia kerja tu. Do you print in a bigger font?
Sometimes if I have a lot of pages, normal, because that's a lot of paper, but usually normal fonts.
Okay. When you read the content, do you see the words flying or disappear or
Yeah, no, see, I don't have that. Yeah, see, and that's why I didn't know I had dyslexia all those years, because most of the people that have that problem, they know at an early age, they're like, something's weird here.
Yeah.
But a lot of people with dyslexia don't have that.
Agree. Okay. Basically, pertama, kalau dia akan print, okay, kalau konten tu pendek, dia akan print font yang besar. Kalau banyak sangat, ialah kerja paper ni banyak kan, font dia kecil saja. So, dia baca macam biasa. Sebab kalau kat komputer ni susah nak fokus sikit, sebab tu dia print. Second, highlight. Highlight is your best friend. Okay, highlight is your best friend. Because color ni akan membantu kita belajar dan memahami sesuatu konten tu. Okay, yang pasal soalan tu, komunikasi tu. Okay, komunikasi tu, you kena faham diri you dulu. Faham diri you, tahu you punya emotion. You tak perlulah nak selalu macam extrovert, happy-happy ke apa ke, ataupun too shy, macam you kena tahu mood you, vibe kat situ, apa yang orang tu suka. Baby step, you pelan-pelan, okay? Alright. Claude, if you want to leave, let me know.
That's okay. We're good. You're breaking up a little bit there, but I think you're okay now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question number 6.
All right.
Or what are you working on? Apa yang seterusnya atau apa yang Claude sedang kerjakan?
Yeah. So I have a Facebook group powered by Dyslexia. You're in that group. And we met on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, you found me. I don't know how you found me, but you found me. It's okay. We have a TikTok.
Yeah. On TikTok, okay, or I can't remember how we met either. So somewhere, but yeah, I have the Facebook group, and I'm doing a webinar, Zoom webinar, July 30th for adults with dyslexia for building confidence. And then I'm also working on a course for adults, for better mindset and for more confidence, because to me, the mindset and the confidence are the things that help you own dyslexia.
On your webinar, are you going to show us like a slide or something, or just talking like this?
It'll be slides and me talking. Yeah, so it'll be a slide presentation, the webinar, And the course will be slides and me talking too.
Okay. Let me know the confirmation date and time. Okay, I will promote here in Malaysia. Alright. Okay, dia akan buat webinar untuk adult dyslexia, how to overcome, macam mana nak terima yang you ada dyslexia. Okay. So, mana ni akan berlaku pada is it July? You going to do this on this month or next month?
Yeah. And July webinar is July 30. And I will be, I will be making an announcement or a bunch of announcements.
All right.
So you will know. Yeah, you'll know.
Okay. 30 Julai nanti akan buat webinar di Amerika, tapi I think we're going to buat collaboration maybe. Don't know, I don't know. We haven't discussed yet. Okay, kita akan cerita tentang macam mana nak accept diri yang baru diagnosed dyslexia. Okay, next question. Where can people find you? Di mana orang boleh mencari kau?
Yep. So, here on TikTok, powered by dyslexia, you just click on my picture or my name. And then, powered dyslexia in my Facebook group is, if you're on Facebook, powered by dyslexia, and those are the two best places to find me.
All right. You also have Instagram, but you're not active on Instagram, right?
Yeah. Instagram is cool, but I've been liking TikTok more, and but I'm on there a little bit still.
Yeah, I like TikTok more because it's easier because we just talk, and Instagram like something.
Yeah. And it took me a long time to get the TikTok, but now I'm like, okay, got it.
Dia ada Facebook called Power by Dyslexia, dan juga follow dia dekat TikTok sekarang ni, okay? Power by Dyslexia, okay? And then dia ada juga kat Instagram, but dia tak berapa aktif, which is Power by Dyslexia too. Alright. Next question is, what message do you like to give to people here in Malaysia? Apa message yang nak sampaikan kepada orang sini di Malaysia? Because in Malaysia still doesn't believe that Einstein, Steve Jobs, NASA still hiring dyslexic, And for me, that in US, they are more aware of neurodivergent. Still have jobs, still have more accommodation in the university. I just talked like few days. I talked with a UK girl who doing master. There is a lot of accommodation they offer for dyslexic in university, which is I amazed. So Malaysia still in how to say. Getting there, okay, it's getting improved. People are accept now. People realize the good thing about this sector. So, can you give message to the Malaysia here?
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the most important things you can do for yourself is to be around people that think like you. And even if it's a small network of people, you have to hang out with people that believe you and that understand you, so that you could feel heard and appreciated for who you are and what you experience. And that little group of people will eventually grow, but you have support from people that believe your story and that know that dyslexia is real, even though it's not big in Malaysia. You've got people that that will stick together. And that will help you a lot, because you don't want to do this alone.
Of course. I like your last message. You cannot do this alone. You have to work with someone who believing in you. Alright. Saya introvert, masalah komunikasi menjadi okay, macam Claude bagi tahu yang kena cari orang yang bersesuaian dengan you. Okay. Contohnya, I give you a tip. Like me, saya berkawan dengan orang dyslexic. Baru-baru ni saya berkawan dengan ADHD adult. So, jumpa orang macam tu yang sama vibe. Okay, I recommend pergi club. Okay, from there you have a friend, you dapat orang yang memahami you lebih mendalam lagi. Okay, so kat situ akan build up your confidence, keyakinan. Okay, soalnya introvert ni dia lagi best kalau dalam grup yang kecil dulu. Okay, macam Claude cakap, start from small. Okay, kita start dari kecil dulu. Dan makin lama kita berkawan, makin berkembang. So, I hope this is give you inspiration to find a friend. Okay, I understand. I also introvert. When in real life, I'm very introvert. Here, somehow I'm very extrovert.
I know. Yeah, I'm like, you. It's like, I want to be like you.
Okay. It's really hard for me to build up my confidence to communicate here, especially you are from US and my English is not very good, and at least I try. Okay.
Yeah. No, you mean, we talk. We've talked a few times, and I always understand you. So yeah, I think you do great.
Thank you so much. So I think we're going to end here, but there's more to come. Okay, it's not going to be end here, but there's more to come, inshallah. Okay, so I'm very excited for future. All right, Claude.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the time today. I forget what time it is over there tonight for me. And yeah, we'll do more stuff, and yeah, we'll keep having fun. That's part of the deal, is to keep having fun, to try to bring people together, and just let people know that they are supported, one way or another. There's a lot of people going through the same thing, and we might as well hang out together.
I cannot wait for 30 July. 30 July will be on Saturday. Saturday for me, meaning Saturday for you, Sunday for me.
Yeah.
I think I can attend that. All right. We will discuss about this. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Bye for today. Okay. Now we extend to 40 minutes.
Yeah. No. See, we said 45 minutes. Perfect. Good job. Thank you. So I'll see you. Thanks for watching.
All right.
From the US, and talk to you soon. Okay.
I'm going to edit this on YouTube. Okay, maybe a few days. Give me a few days, then I will.
Yeah. Take your time, and just let me know when it's ready.
All right. Well.
All right. See you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for watching, the audience. Bye.
Bye.